Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your educator for NTA UGC NET exam, FEET subject English. In today's video, we are going to talk about wars and English literature. We all know that paper setters of this examination are in completely love with chronology. So in this video, let us take a quick recap and revisit the wars that influenced English literature, that made the magnificent history of English literature. We'll start with the Norman Conquest and we'll go up till the Second World War. Yes, the most important wars, most important years that can be asked as chronology. Yes, it's not new. It has been asked that you have to arrange World War I, Spanish Armada, English Civil War, Crimean War, Boer War. So all these are very important. In this one short video, we will look out the changing dimensions, changing realities, changing attitudes of war. Yes, wars are important. They are the symbol of invasion. They are the symbol of growth and prosperity. But over time, from Norman conquest to World War I, the face of the war completely changed. Earlier, there were knights of the Trojan War. They were glorified. They were deemed with so much of valor, so much of grandeur, that war was taken to be a heavenly act, the act of prestige. But with coming of World War I, everything got devastated. There was one-on-one session with futility, death and destruction that war brings with itself. So the concept of war has changed, but one thing that has not changed is the influence of war on people, on our writers, on our high class writers, and also on the works, and also on common people. So with that, we'll start with our discussion on today's lecture, a recap to wars and English literature. फाइनली डेट आ चुकी है, 25 जून को हमारा एग्जाम होने वाला है. सो लेट्स मेक द मोस्ट आउट ऑफ इट एंड रिवाइज द की डेट्स, की राइटर्स, की movements and major wars that shaped the magnificent history of English literature. In this video, you will get to know major wars, get to know, get to revise, and historical ages, literary movements, important writers. And besides, the cherry on the cake has to be chronology. Chronology has been asked so many times on the years on which the works of a particular writer are written, the years of their death, the year of their birth, and year of the history of English literature, particular ages. And why not war? Yes, it can be asked. You will be asked to put them in chronological order in terms of their happening. They will put in the option A, World War I, in the option 2, Spanish Armada, then English War. You will arrange them in chronological order only if you have in-depth knowledge of the historical, political backdrop and consequences of the history. So very first war, and this video, this class I took in my offline batch. So you will get things a little messy because the class has already been taken. We revised all the major wars in our offline class, in our members only class, and in today's video, in our paid class, in today's video, I thought why not revise it once again for my YouTube family. And my dear YouTube family, first war of the magnificent history of English literature has to be Norman Conquest, Battle of Hastings. William the Duke of Normandy in the Anglo-Saxon era came and conquered the English nation by defeating King Harold Hardrada, and became William the Conqueror. Because he belonged to the Norman area, that too in France, he brought together French language with him. That is why in the beginning, the Old English language had so many words from the French language, all thanks to William the Conqueror. But this conqueror was soon conquered by English terms. He became an English king. He became English in manners. But French language by and by entered in the Anglo-Norman era. And this war is also known as Battle of Hastings. This war marked the end of the Anglo-Saxon era. Anglo-Saxon, Angles, Saxons and Jutes, three Celtic tribes, and now one more tribe has joined them, making it the Anglo-Norman era from the year 1066. Mark down the year chronology के लिए. Second most important war is the Hundred-Year War that took place during the time of Geoffrey Chaucer. This war took place for more than 100 years. Mark down the years 1337 to 1453, and this Hundred-Year War took place between England and France. King Edward III, Edward II, they wanted to rule France, but due to some reasons, due to some political reasons of rule and invasion, this war continued to happen. And in these 100 years, not only this war happened, but you know what? What happened? Black Death, Peasants' Revolt, kingdom, the complete English kingdom was trying to control, trying to give expenses to the war, and those expenses, those royal treasury was now falling down. Because of that reason, huge taxes were collected from peasants, and peasants, they revolted. So this Hundred-Year War saw Peasants' Revolt and also the Black Death. The virus Yersinia pestis spread, sweeping across 1/4 of total population, and as the result of which this war became so devastating, so destructive because of the Black Death, that pandemic that happened in the middle of this war in the year 1348. But primarily because we are talking about wars, we should talk about Battle of Crecy, Battle of Poitiers and Battle of Agincourt. During this time, English nationalism rose up. English people, they felt that they belong to English nation, to English isle. So this strengthened English language, it strengthened English nationalism, giving way to the national poet of England and also to the father of English poetry, father of English literature, Geoffrey Chaucer, who represented everything about war in his first written in English work, that is the Canterbury Tales. That is such a panoramic work that you will get to know each and everything about the social political background through the mouthpiece of the characters that he has chosen. Chaucer is often asked in NTA UGC NET exam, especially for his work, The Canterbury Tales, wherein we will see that there are approximately 30 to 31 pilgrims who are going to the shrine of Canterbury, to the shrine of Sir Thomas Becket, and those characters, those 30 characters, they are the representatives of the English nation. I told you, they belong to three different classes. We have clergymen, we have merchants, we have common people like wife of Bath. So, Geoffrey Chaucer is important, but because this video is essentially dedicated to war and English literature, mark down the year Battle of Hastings 1066. 1066, Hundred-Year War 1337 to 1453. third most important war is War of Roses, that took place during Age of Revival, wherein when Chaucer passed away, literary activity was actually following, literary writers were actually following the the writings of Chaucer only. So they were known as English Chaucerians. So during this war happened between two elite classes of England, House of Lancaster and House of York. Lancaster represented the house of Henry, whereas York represented the house of Richard. So this war gave way to the Tudor dynasty, from which came our beautiful golden queen, Queen Elizabeth. And this war also saw Jack Cade's rebellion. So mark down the year. This war is also famously known as 30 Years War. 100-year war, 30 Years War, Battle of Hastings, and then we have our queen. The golden era of Renaissance begins with Queen Elizabeth. And as Queen Elizabeth writes, as Queen Elizabeth was, she became the Golden Queen, the most prestigious queen who favored scientific exploration, who favored colonization. She had but one dream of seeing England as the world power, and that dream really came true. The Spanish Armada, the fleet coming straight away from Spain to attack and invade English Navy. But what happened? Because of the magic of this virgin queen, a storm happened and the whole Spanish Armada, whole Spanish fleet drowned. In the year 1588, it's a net PYQ. This has been asked in the chronology manner, so you must know the year of the Spanish Armada. With it rose English nationalism. This was the time she favored the growth of English writers, English explorers, English scientists. She was actually the golden queen, actually the queen who dedicated her complete life to the growth of her motherland, that is England. So a Spanish Armada is important, but after Spanish Armada drowned, England as a nation grew to new heights. Next in line is English Civil War. This is an in-house war between English people, between English two religious sects, that is Protestants and Catholic. Queen Elizabeth, as we all know, died without an heir. So as a result of which, the King of Scotland was made the King of England. And after we had James I, we had Charles I, and Charles I was very lavish in his ways. He wanted no truck. He was always in constant discord with the parliamentarian. So church and parliament became two ruling heads. But Charles I believed in the very fact that kings are the viceroys of God. They are the chosen people of God. They have full right to use the royal treasury. But parliament was completely intervening in between. He had time to try to dissolve the parliament, but this could not happen. The result of which English Civil War started. Protestantism turned into Puritanism, and that is why we have writers like John Milton who have written the works like Paradise Lost and 1642-1651 theatre. That was so much popular drama, that was so much popular genre during Queen Elizabeth's rule. We have writers like Shakespeare, Marlowe, who were writing day in and day out, the master canonical writers. Drama, they were practicing drama, they were acting drama, they were writing drama. Drama was taken to be the most dominant literary form. It was banned in the year 1642. The public gatherings were banned because of the rise of Puritanism, and we have writers like John Milton. So mark the year. English Civil War is from 1642 to 1651. You have to learn this year separately, because during this year only English theatres were closed, English drama was banned. Now we have the glorious revolution. We know the power of English people because Charles I was just executed, and Charles I was an example that how people can turn into mob and how people can gather together in the favor of their own belief system and can even get a king executed. Glorious revolution is when King James II, he was not beheaded, but he was overthrown by William and Mary. People wanted People did not want King James II, the illegitimate brother of King Charles II, to send the throne. That is why they collaborated and called Mary and William to come to the throne. But because James II had already this idea in mind that what happened with Charles I can happen to me also, because people are essentially disliking me and they are constant with their discords with me. That is why he took his bags and left. But this is the glorious revolution. This is a revolution led by the common people. They joined hands with the parliament, and as a result of which kings now were essentially taken to be the viceroys of God, now were the puppets in the hands of the people. Therein we have writers like John Dryden, the diplomat writer of English literature, who favored monarchy when monarchy was there, who favored parliamentarian rule, Commonwealth rule when Commonwealth was there. Such a diplomatic writer. So, we have writers like Dryden and Pope who are famous for their satiric writings. Next in line, they are not English wars, but they have influenced English literature in such a way that they need a mention. First is the American War of Independence that took place between 1775 to 1783, wherein we have writers like Walt Whitman who are constantly writing about War of Independence. Colonies were overthrown. Colonies were decolonized. America as a nation gained independence. Anti-colonial idea. This idea influenced the French Revolution, and French Revolution in return had much influence on our romantic age. So French Revolution का ईयर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है 1789. फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन का जो आइडिया है, जो मोटो है, उसका जो थर्ड फैक्टर है वो कमेंट सेक्शन में रिवाइज कर रहे हैं, रिकैप कर रहे हैं, वो आप लोग मुझे बताएंगे. What is exactly the motto of French Revolution that infused in the mind of William Wordsworth the idea of common man, common writing? So this revolution brought revolutionary change. French Revolution inspired Romanticism and inspired William Wordsworth into writing the preface to the lyrical ballads, and also this romantic manifesto. And common writing, poetry is a spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. So next, the main real war-like situation. War was earlier glorified, full of valor, but now it came shattering down, where there is a constant confrontation with death, horror, futility, disillusionment. London Bridge is falling down, churches are empty, our river Thames that's loaded with sandwiches paper. Yes, I'm talking about T.S. Eliot's representation of London in his very work, The Wasteland. And where did he get the influence from? The World War I, the after effect of World War I. We especially have World War I, war poetry, war writers like विल्फ्रेड ओवन, सिगफ्राइड सुसून, रूपर्ट ब्रूक. आप इन राइटर्स को मिस नहीं कर सकते हैं, जरूर से जरूर पढ़कर जाना है. कंप्लीट जो फेस है, कंप्लीट जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है वॉर का, वो इनकी पोएट्री अर्ली 20th सेंचुरी की पोएट्री में आपको देखने को मिल सकता है. वर्ल्ड वॉर वन, that was actually a world war, war against colonization, war against also war against the colonial rules, and the race to become the first world country, race to become the world far. So this war is important. And what another, the year is important, it took place from 4 years, but after effects were so extreme that we have movements, literary movements like lost generation, stream of consciousness. People are constantly overburdened, stressed and anxiety by the fact that World War II might take place. And because the father lost his son, son lost his father, families lost their beloved son and fathers, and there was complete bloodshed, and that bloodshed continued in the World War II. All these movements, they are war driven movements, especially Lost Generation, absurd drama. Life was taken to be so futile that it might end any day soon. So these movements are very important. They are inspired by war. They are the after effects of war on human psychology, human thought and human behavior. Next, the war, the idea of war, the tragedy related to war, the effect of the war came with the nuclear war, World War II, that took place between 1939 to 1945. Such an important year to mark. And you know what? There are many other wars like Napoleonic War, Boer War, Crimean War. These wars are little lesser known wars on the world stage, but they are important. Boer War is known as the African War, whereas the Crimean War is a war of soldiers, and Napoleon is for the ideology of Napoleon. It favored nature and the growth and everything. So all things are important. I expect that this video had been really very useful for you people in recapitulating the major wars that made the English writers more realistic, English writings more valuable, and the confrontation with the war we can get with many writings, many American writings, English writings. Many writings are war based. For example, this war poetry of the early 20th century. So on that note, I wish you all the very best. Please mark your calendars with 25th of June. Start the PYQ practice and revision strategy. Please do start right now. This is Dr. Neha wishing you all the very best.